The first thing we're going to do is calculate the total revenue for each salesperson. So let's begin with Bob Cook. His total revenue will appear in cell E5. So we're going to enter the formula here. The first thing we do is we enter the equal sign, right? Now, to calculate the total revenue for Bob Cook, we need to calculate the revenue from air tickets sold, the revenue from hotel rooms, and the revenue from selling rail tickets, and we need to add these three figures. So first, let's do the revenue from air tickets sold. That will be B5 multiplied by the service charge for each air ticket, which is in B16. Now, to enter the multiplication operator on the keyboard, press Shift and then 8. And that will display the asterisk symbol, which is the symbol for multiplication. So B5 times B16, because for each air ticket sold, you earn a service charge. So that's the revenue from air tickets. Then we need to add, so on the keyboard, you need to enter plus, okay? We need to enter the revenues from hotel rooms, which would be in C5, multiplied by the commission earned for each dollar of hotel revenues earned, which would be here in B17. And the third component of the revenue would be the rail tickets sold, which is in D5, multiplied by, again, that's a Shift 8 on the keyboard, multiplied by the service charge for each rail ticket, which is in B18. So this is the formula for calculating the total revenue for Bob Cook. Okay, so check that the formula is correct, and then you press enter, and the answer appears in cell E6. If you want to see the formula rather than the result, just double click on the cell and you'll see the formula, and you can edit it if you want. If you want to see the result again, you just press enter. Alright, now how do we enter the total revenues for the remaining 4 salespeople? We could do the same thing again and again. We could enter air ticket sold times service charge per air ticket plus hotel revenue times commission rate plus rail ticket sold times service charge per rail ticket. We can do that 4 more times. But just imagine if our travel agency had 2,000 sales agents, then we would have to do this 2,000 times. So fortunately, Excel offers us the ability to copy formulas. And how do we copy the formula? We click on the cell that has the formula that we want to copy, and then here on the lower right hand corner there is a square, a black square. You just point your mouse to it until the cursor changes into a crosshair, and then you can simply pull everything down, okay, all the way to E9. Now you see that something has happened here, but the figures don't seem to be correct because these two turned out blank, and this is 14 million, which is a really big amount for one sales agent to earn. So let's see what happened when we copied this formula to this cell. So let's double click. Okay, so let's see what happened. The formula that was copied is B6 times B17. Now B17 is down here. What we really want is B6 times B16. So there's a mistake right there already. C6 times B18, that's B18 down here, which is also incorrect. And then D6 times B19, which is down here, which is also incorrect. So even though part of the formula was copied correctly, some parts were not copied correctly. Namely, B17 should have been B16, B18 should have been B17, and B19 should have been B18. So what made these cell references change? And in fact, what made them go up by 1? Okay, so this is where you need to understand how copying formulas works in Excel. If you look at the original formula, it was B5 times B16, right? Now, when you copy it 1 row down, all the row numbers will go up by 1. So it will become B6 times B17 plus C6 times B18 plus D6 times B19. Now, in some cases, you do want the row number to go up by 1, but in some cases, you want the row number to stay the same. So for those row numbers that you want to stay the same, you need to put a $ sign in front of it. Now, this dollar sign does not affect the result of the formula. It simply changes the behavior of Excel when this formula is copied to another row. So B5, we don't put dollar sign because we want B5 to adjust. We want it to become B6. But for B16, even though we copy it one row below, we still want it to be B16. So we put a dollar sign in front of the row number. C5, we do need it to go up by 1, but for B17 we want it to stay the same, so we put a dollar sign here. And same thing with B18, we put a dollar sign here. All right. So now I press enter. The result is still the same. Nothing has changed. The only change will occur when we copy this formula again to the 4 rows below it. Okay. So now you'll see that the result looks much better. And when we double click, you'll see that the formula that's copied for Alice Ma is correct. B6 times B16 plus C6 times B17 plus D6 times B18. So B16, B17, and B18 did not adjust even if they were copied to a new row because we put a dollar sign in front of the row number. This is called a mixed reference because the column does not have a dollar sign in front of it, but the row number has a dollar sign in front of it. And we're going to talk in class about what this means. But for now, just understand that putting a dollar sign in front of a column or a row reference will cause that reference to become fixed. And even if you copy that to a different location on your worksheet, this reference will stay the same. Let's review what happened to Charlotte Poon. Okay, that formula looks correct too. Okay, everything looks correct. Everything looks correct. All right, so we have learned how to enter formulas, and we've learned how to copy formulas, and we also learned that we need to put a dollar sign in front of any column or row reference that we do not want to adjust when it's copied to a new location.